In 95, before I moved out here, my Uncle Jimmy was murdered at a gas station. He was shot point blank in the back of the head. But no one ever blamed it on the gun. Never once did somebody say, oh my gosh, we have to get rid of guns. It was about the two perpetrators that are in prison. And that was the focus. Because without those two, the gun wouldn't have killed Jimmy. So, you know, when people talk about the shootings and this and that, and I understand that emotional trigger response, but it's not a solution at all that would work to remove the guns. And if you talk to any politician, like one day with Marianne Williamson, she was doing her thing because she wanted to take Waxman's seat, so she came out to our house, and so I said, you know, how do you feel about, you know, gun control? And she was like, oh, we're gonna get rid of those automatic rifles, you know. And I said, okay, yeah, sure, okay. Well, I'm totally pro-gun, and you saw the like, oh shit, on her face a little bit.
The Scooby-Doo.
Because now I'm gonna challenge her. I said, did you know that pro-gun and anti-gun people want the same exact result? Everybody wants the same outcome, not to have innocent people killed.
That's right.
No words, nothing. In fact, to the point where she mocked me. That's when it dawned on me that no matter what solution you give the politician, the Bloomberg crew, they're not looking for it at all.
They're just parroting the
And then
lines.
she said to me, do you know what the Second Amendment was written for? And I said, I do, but maybe you need to tell me your definition. And she goes, for muskets. I go, so you're telling me a musket? That's what you're selling me right now? But that's when it was created, and that's what it's talking about.
What was the First Amendment written for then? For calligraphy written on scrolls? Or, I mean, what are we talking about? Things don't advance at all?
Exactly.
Seriously, I think there's going to be a gun grab. I think Obama is emboldened, and he will look to maybe take some executive action steps that will be contested, obviously, you know, by Republicans in Congress and the Senate. But if he feels that strong enough support in the Supreme Court, you know, he may go ahead and try to do something. And then I think that's a legitimate concern for people who believe in our Second Amendment rights.
And the fact is that gun control laws affect good people, not bad people. When you tell someone, I'm sorry, you cannot have a magazine that holds more than one bullet because I don't think you need more than one bullet, it's only the good person that's going to carry around that stupid magazine that holds one bullet. That's the problem. The bad guy that wants to kill everybody around him and rob people and maim and murder people, he doesn't care that he's violating your rule on the one bullet magazine limit. He's out there committing crimes, so why would he care? It's idiotic. And yet they push these things as if they make sense. And they make sense to them because they're so far removed from the reality of what crime is. Crime is behavior. Crime has nothing to do with the tools of the crime.
But again, it's just a term, gun control. That's what they want to be known. Oh, because I don't want children to die. I don't want,
managing root cause.
I don't want children to die either. I don't want, you know.
They're scared of what they don't know about. They're not educating themselves. They're not educating their children. And
no, they just don't want guns under any circumstance.
Well, absolutely, absolutely. But you know, like.
No, they don't want guns in the hands of individuals. There's the difference.
And they want guns for themselves.
They are all about deferring to the experts.
It's only about taking guns away. It's never really in the conversation about people not dying and finding a solution. It's just about taking the guns away. And if they were thinking about people not dying, they'd have an answer. But they only go as far as removing firearms. So that tells me that there's more to it. Otherwise, we'd be able to come up with a solution because all of us don't want innocent people to die. End of story. The majority of us get firearms to prevent exactly that.
Just think about if we did not have the Second Amendment,
I'd rather
what
not.
beyond what's going on in the schools.
How much further this would have progressed already?
Yes. I really would be afraid of what this country might become without the Second Amendment, because not only does the Second Amendment protect us from, criminals or foreign, invaders, but it protects us from a tyrannical government. And as long as we've got the Second Amendment, we can stand tall and prevent our own government from imposing a life on us that we don't want to live.